Hello, I have a message today called Restore Power. So here is the short version. One power does not win over another power. It's just that one power is seen as real and the other as false. You restore power to all beings in the sense that you are willing to see that they have always had the power. When you evaluate someone separately, you decide the grounds they will be judged upon, and then you judge them. Your earth experience is a chance to remember that separately you are crazy, but together you are sane. Think of the conduit from spirit thought to your mind expanding. Okay, so one power does not win over another power. It's just that one power is seen as real and the other as false. So pick your favorite politician. You can look through the false power that they seem to have on the surface, and this would be worldly power. Any power we seem to have in the world that is not the power that comes from our actual love for everyone and everything. So actually, as a being, you love everyone and everything. And if you're looking at the masks upon things, take all the masks off, and behind the masks there's just light. My friend Vera just commented this yesterday, so I feel like I'm using her words. We're looking toward the true power of everything. If you see yourself as you are, as light connected by light to anyone or anything that ever was, then you do love everything. And if you look at someone you believe to be other, and they're light connected by light to everything that ever was or will be, then of course they love everyone and everything too. And this is the power that doesn't win, because nothing has ever opposed it. And this is the power we learn to look toward in all circumstances. And it's not the instability of this back and forth. It's not the instability of something could go wrong. It's not the instability of someone or something has defect. It's the certainty and the power and the knowledge of what we are all together, and trust in that. And then allowing that to make the dream we experience. So how's this dream going to unfold? You know what? I think I will leave that entirely up to the power that has no opposite, that is only loving forever. I think that would be the wisest choice, to put my dream into the hands of this power and to let it play it out and bring it to a close. Okay, so one power does not win over another power. It's just that one power is seen as real and the other as false. So when I'm in any degree of stress or tension, I am believing that false power is real power. And I don't do anybody a service when I'm believing they have false power. So pick your favorite politician again. I'm not doing that one a service when I believe that one has false power and that they can actually wield it. I might be witnessing a dream of my own invention in which their character seems to wield false power. But who is behind that? What is behind that? Once you look long enough, you see, oh my gosh, purity forever, joy forever. And I was projecting the surface of false power upon them. So I can project a surface of false power upon you, and I can see you as either having or lacking this false power in many different ways. And I can also say the time has come to stop that, to stop projecting upon you from fear, and to acknowledge what you truly are right now and always will be. I might as well just rest with that. So you restore power to all beings in the sense that you are willing to see that they have always had the power. So we restore the power in our sight, because we have been kind of la 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 la, covering our ears and covering our eyes and refusing to see evidence of the power everyone is and has right now. Instead, what we preferred was to see false power of having and lacking, and all the opposites playing out upon the surface of what is really all powerful and joined forever. And that has been my dream I have wanted to see in all its separate and conflicting aspects. And when I get to the point where I can feel the chaos of this dream, I can feel the chaos of believing it's real, and all I want is order now, all I want is divine order, then I allow my sight to be restored, that everyone and everything shares the same power forever, and it's never been anything but this. Okay. When you evaluate someone separately, you decide the grounds they will be judged upon, and then you judge them. So, through the day, when I feel stress or tension, I have evaluated someone or something separately. I have decided, here's how I'm going to decide this is one opposite or the other. This is smart or dumb. This is good or bad. This is beautiful or ugly. Here are the grounds upon it. When I was teaching, we used to make rubrics. It's like you make a rubric and you decide a paper of this sort that's going to be given this number has these qualities, and paper of another sort has these qualities, and you list them. And it's kind of like that. You set up your grounds for judgment. And when I was receiving this part of the message, I kept seeing like the gallows or faint wisps of the idea that I, in another body, in another time, in another place, had been judged upon these grounds. Not so much the memory that I of being the judger, more the memory of being the victim, right, of the judgment. And it seems something came out from outside me to judge me and condemn me and to end me. So that's what we're doing all through the day. We're setting up gallows and judging things and condemning things. And it's optional. So when we realize it begins with us and it's optional, there's a starting point. When you evaluate someone separately, you decide the grounds they will be judged upon, and then you judge them. Well, the one judgment, this is from A Course in Miracles, that I can apply to everyone I think of today is you are guiltless. I'm not talking about the mask. I'm not talking about the human. I'm not talking about the personality. I'm not talking about the past of that personality. An ego would look at the human, the person, the mask, the past of the body, and would make many judgments about relative guilt and innocence. This is not relative guilt and innocence. I look straight through the mask of the human, because the human's only the mask. The body's only the mask. Spirit can use the body, so that's a good thing to do with the body, to just give all the bodies to Spirit and say, use these. But I'm looking straight through the mask when I'm in my right mind and seeing that our one shared being is guiltless, cannot do wrong, because wrongdoing is something I imagined. It is not an actuality. Do I keep seeing and experiencing it in different forms? Yes, because I'm still attached to a fearful dream. A fearful dream by definition has to be unreal, because love is the only thing that's real or that could exist. So I look straight through a surface the ego might call especially innocent, where someone else is guilty, or especially guilty in contrast to someone else's innocence, and I can see behind those surfaces there is one shared being, and that being has never done anything wrong, and that being is what that one is, and that being is what the other one is. Pick your favorite two politicians in opposition to each other. They're one being. So if you look through their masks and see their shared being behind it, that being is guiltless. And we all, sorry I didn't turn the heat off, so I have the blower here. We all have the power to focus upon that shared beingness, and the power of that, the innocent power of that shared beingness at any time. That's the power we share. With the politicians, with everybody. It's a shared power. That's why it's benign. No one's without this power. Your earth experience is a chance to remember that separately you are crazy, but together you are sane. So when I experience any degree of tension or stress, and it's been very high lately, and I keep getting reminded, it's just uncovered. You have hidden this under other ideas or judgments about other things and people. You can, when you're busy making judgments about other things and people and events and everything, right? You hide your terror. You get distracted from your terror. When you drop the judgments, this burst of terror is released. And yeah, I've been experiencing a lot of that and thinking, how have I even lived like this? It's unbelievable. I've been carrying around this terror. Well, yes, you have. and masking it, yeah, that's exactly what you've been up to. So now is the time for it to be released, as I understand all the judgments are bullshit and transmuted. Is that the right word? After it gets released, I can calm down into our foundation of love and into trust to allow that foundation to handle everything I'm witnessing, and to allow that to come into my life and to run me, and to run what I perceive to be my life, and to run what I perceive to be my perception of everything. So in the wake of the releasing and revealing that terror, there's also a sinking into our true foundation, because a sane being is going to say, oh, I could hover over the surface here in absolute terror and I can continue this way, or I could relax down into what we are and let it be in charge. The sane decision is the second one. Okay, your earth experience is a chance to remember that separately you are crazy, but together you are sane. So just the memory of, I made the perception of time and space. Time and space is an experience, but it's not real. But let's not deny that this experience is real to us as long as we're having it. Time and space is a perception, so it's not real, and therefore very flexible. But let's not deny that the perception is very real to all of us while we're still perceiving it. And from that perspective, we have a reason to allow what is sane and stable to run the experience of what we believe to be ourselves and what we believe to be everyone, and to run our perception of what we believe to be ourselves and what we believe to be everyone and everything. So this foundation is always here quietly, just waiting for us. This foundation we can sink into and surrender into and trust. And to any extent that we're feeling stress or tension in any tiny way today, it's an opportunity to have that realization. I've been fighting to struggle away from this, I would say, godly foundation that I can trust, that will carry me and everybody, that will take care of everyone and every little thing. I've been trying to struggle away from it, and I can end this struggle. I can just melt back down into it, and it's okay. Think of the conduit from spirit thought to your mind expanding. So we have been sucking on this straw of ego thought, slurping, and trying to understand things and take things on board and accomplish things and make new things and strive and achieve, and we have been using ego thought to make our perception of all of this seeming to happen. When you take the ego straw out of your mouth, you set it aside, and you notice there's this huge conduit coming to you, which is spirit thought. And it's not a straw, really. To me, it looks more like a big pipe underground or something. It's so much bigger than a straw. But we don't need to be afraid. And to see this is what we really want. The spirit thought can be very specific with us because it guides us through and out of what we're experiencing and perceiving. And it does that in harmony. It does that in peace. It does that with love. So I always have these two choices all throughout the day. And my being is essentially hooked up to this huge conduit from spirit. It's always here. But what I can do is kind of hold my hand up and ignore it and grab this little straw and suck in the ego thought instead. So when I feel any degree of tension or stress, I can remember just take the straw away, stop consuming the product, take a moment, remember everything that's here in this huge tube of spirit thought coming through to me, and it's safe to allow and accept all of the thoughts that spirit would give me that inspire me in how to see you, how to see everything, how to see everyone, that inspire me in if there's a question of what should I do next, what should I say, where should I go, let that be answered by thought from spirit instead of the thought that's coming out of this straw, this addictive substance that I'm used to sucking down. I can stop that and turn toward the huge tube of spirit thought and be open to what's going to come through there for me. And know if there's any degree of stress or tension, I'm consuming the addictive product instead. So I can go in and find an example of what am I believing right now? Okay, that's coming from the addictive product. So I have to set that aside. I have to move into a different direction. I have to open up to what spirit thought would tell me about everything here, how spirit thought will guide me. As I allow spirit thought to guide me, I look out there at you, and spirit thought is of course doing the same for you because we mirror each other. So it's something to relax down into, something to accept joyfully because it's a gift and it's helpful. And I think that's it for today. All right, so happy healing, and thank you for listening.